This is MSR TV6 15 Minutes News. In the headlines, local journalist and comedian arrested for embezzlement. Metanel Clarsers on field trip to Belvedere Garden. Sandy Ground on the Move summer camp ready to start. These stories with much more details coming up right after this.
MSR Cable TV, simply the best.
A well-known local radio personality and comedian, Andrew Dick, was arrested yesterday after embezzling over $60,000 from his current employees, Bay and Say Beverages distributed Envy. Dick had been contracted to Bay and Say in a sales position for 2 months when a spot check disclosed irregularities in customers' payment. It transpired that Dick had taken payments from customers but have not passed those payments on to the company. According to reports, this is not the first time Dick has been caught in similar circumstances. It is reported that Dick was caught by PJ2 Radio, where he had embezzled a large amount of money using checks appropriated for the station. Dick was arrested at the time, but under circumstances he was not prosecuted in exchange for a signing of a document where he had promised that he would pay every cent that was taken. The St. Martin Police Force confirmed the arrest of Andrew Dick via a press release which stated that on Thursday, June 19th, around 1:45 p.m., Andrew Dick was arrested by police in Colby as a suspect in an ongoing investigation of embezzlement. This suspect was arrested without incident under the orders of the prosecutor office and handed over to the detective department. Andrew is presently in detention, where he is being questioned as the investigation continues. A 14-year-old teenage boy with initials ICS was arrested in Dutch Quarter on Friday, June 13th, approximately 8:50 a.m. for the possession of a weapon. Parents and the lawyer of the suspect was informed of the incident before being questioned. The suspect remained overnight for questioning and was released on Saturday morning in the custody of his parents. This young man was carrying a knife. Residents of the French Quarter housing project took to the streets some weeks ago in protest of their living conditions in the project houses. Several board members of the French Quarter community and their president visited the SIG office to voice their grievances, but was however told that the official from La SIG main office in Guadeloupe will be arriving on the island to deal with the circumstance. A follow-up meeting was promised, however to date no action has been taken. Here is Mr. George Richardson, who is president of that board, to elaborate on the follow-up situation.
I don't think that now things was done in the proper way because, as I said to them from the first time I thought we had a meeting up there, it does not mean because the director decided that he's coming from Guadeloupe that everything is order. I thought that we would have met before and we would have discussed the questions that would have been posed to this gentleman. No, I was not there. I don't know what happened. Nobody never called me again to tell me, well, what happened. No. I continue buying the newspapers to see if I would have seen anything inside of the newspapers. Towards that, there was nothing written inside in there, so I don't know.
What triggered this problem in the beginning? Because there was a protest, and can you just
no, the problem is a real problem that these people are facing. Right? And because it was a real problem that they were facing, there's where that I believe that we should have sit down and we should have been decided the type of questions that you're going to pose.
So what the problem was with the houses?
The houses,
it's in a deplorable condition.
Definitely. And this is why that I am saying that, to me, that we should have had a meeting to discuss the way going forward. Because this guy could come for paint. We know that paint and potterhoid all complaints. This guy got come from Guadeloupe, probably may tell you all nicest things out of the world, and then nothing has been done. You know? No. You're supposed to know to first to find out exactly. But since nobody didn't say nothing to me, nobody didn't call me, I am hoping that things worked out for the best for the people and not in the worst.
According to the French Quarter resident, their rights was violated when monies are being deducted from their salaries to maintain the homes, but nothing is being repaired, and they are in return having to take more monies to do the necessary maintenance. They further stated that many of them have been living in the project houses for more than 30 years, and it was promised after renting for over 15 years they would be able to own their homes. They are still awaiting some solution and closure to their living situation, which they complain is deplorable and inhumane. Four classes from the Simeon Toit Maternelle visited the Bellevue Garden on Friday morning as part of their field trip outing day. The teachers assistants, and the students all got information on the operation of the garden and different bushes that can be used to fight against sickness, especially the chikungunya. This is what two of the teachers' assistants had to say.
So anyhow, they have a day with the children here to explain them about the farm and different things like for the fruits and the vegetables and the different remedies too, because he also talk about the different remedies. He talk about the chikungunya.
Okay.
Show them the leaf was very good. Tell them they should start drinking it for now to prevent it and things like that. So it's just a day for the children to discover Bellevue Garden.
And how do you think the children responded when they were getting all this information?
Very good. They was very amazed and looking and touching everything and wants to know about everything.
And even you as the assistant, is something you learned that you didn't know before about natural bushes?
Well, the chikungunya, the bush for the chikungunya. My yard is full of it, and I didn't know what it was really good for.
Okay.
So I learned about it, so it's a good thing.
And how long were you all here? How many hours did you spend here?
Well, we reached around 9:30. Then the children had the goûter because that's the time.
Okay.
So they had a little goûter, and then after that we went around checking it. It was very enriching and
Interesting for the children.
Yes. Well, we know a lot of things about nature already,
Okay.
so we just get some more information.
MSR Teen had the opportunity to speak with Belvedere Garden owner Ras Jabash concerning the school visit and the operation of the garden.
Well, the reason why the children are here, we have 7 years over here in Bellevue, and we decided to build this garden to safeguard agriculture and fruit trees and medicinal plants that belong to St. Martin, because we see how the world is going. And this effort was done because Mr. Louis Constant Fleming has donated 5 acres of land for it to happen. And we did want to institutionalize agriculture. We want to take it from backstage, take it from being marginalized, being rejected, having no contact and no communication with the people who produce. Then in St. Martin, we're a country that depends on foreign import, which in time of disaster or any national problem, we will suffer more than anybody else. So for that, we decided to start this agricultural project and to institutionalize it by having the Educational Department of Education also play a great part in it. Because if we want to promote agriculture, we cannot promote it with 40-year-old or 50-year-old, and those especially who are not in the field, active in the field. So we decided to pass through the youths and through the school children, set a curriculum with the school, set a setup with the school, and they has responded favorably. And Monday, all the students that was sent in here was from Phillipsburg. Tuesday was from Phillipsburg. Wednesday was from Phillipsburg. Thursday, we were supposed to receive 167 again from Phillipsburg. And today, we have 4 schools from the French side. So it's a reality for us that the work that we have set off to do, it's being done, it's happening. It's just for us now to keep focus. I mean, we don't get much adults to come to the garden, but we get the children to come.
The well-growing chikungunya right now. Was this bush here all the time, or is it something new?
Yeah, this bush being here all the time, and it's not me who really had the knowledge of this bush. It's Miss Adams, and Jessie Torres' mother. And I presented to this bush doctor from Santo Domingo, and when he saw it, he told me that this bush is unique, and this bush eradicates fever instantly. When I look into Guadeloupe, Martinique, I send people in Marie Galante also. We look for this chickweed that destroying chikungunya. They have a type of it, but they don't have the original that we have here in St. Martin. That's the reason why it's spreading like that in Guadeloupe. I called the doctor in Guadeloupe, Henri Joseph, also is a friend of my own. We discussed the matter. He tell me he keep a conference with them, with the authorities, and they kind of showing what he is saying. But from day one, he was saying the same thing just as I was saying it. If we all use chickweed bush, the day itself, today, you use it today, tonight, you has no longer chikungunya.
Sandy Ground on the Move Association is once again ready for their annual summer camp. Everything is already in place and checked to accommodate the children, which can be from Sandy Ground and from any other district on the island. Here is President of Sandy Ground on the Move, Mr. George Richardson, and his assistant, Ms. Thomas, to give more details.
As you know that every year we does a summer camp, because when school closes in July, the children doesn't have absolutely nothing as to do. And since education is the key in every department, we're making sure that we can put something at the mercies of the parents, so that the parents can come and participate in making sure that the children will be doing something constructive and not being on the road or on the street running up and down. This year, while we are still using the summer camp, we wanted to give it a different flavor. Meaning is that, as you know, that a couple months ago, Sandy Ground, French Quarter, and the whole of the French side, for that matter of fact, was suffering from this sickness they call chikungunya. Now, we decided now that we wanted now as to have the children educate themselves on environment. Environment meaning is that how you should be able to dispose your garbage, because without healthiness, we get a lot of sickness. So we are going to take the children to all the different places which part of this dispose of the garbage, so that they can get an understanding, so that they can come back and discuss among themselves, and even share that information with their parents. Because for instance, here in Senegal, we see is that when the children goes up with the garbage and they flings it, or when those tins are over full, they puts it down on the ground, and then the wind takes them to go with it, and then we get a lot of centipedes, a lot of all rats and so forth and things. So we are trying to educate the children, because this is something that we are not only limited to this. They're going to have certain work inside of the classroom. Of course, we're going to be taking them to all different sites, but all those different sites that we are asking them to go on, we want them now we're going to pose questions on them on these various sites, so what they understand and what they see, so that because we want to broaden their mind, we want to activate every cell in their mind.
I went in myself into an insertion program. So being around people in an insertion program is not new to me. And secondly, I was first of all in France, and I decided to come back in the Caribbean, because I knew that with the lack of employment, that my people, I would say, were in need of their young people that are qualified to make a change. So that this is first of all why I'm here, because I personally think that if each of us contribute to the development, we can do some change. So I work with an assistant de formation and an adulte relais. I'm comfortable with the job. I take my time to communicate with the people, because I know some people may be frustrated with the situation, some others may be depressive, or some others could be whatever the case. So I always take my time with people. I don't judge people on where they're from, what you do. Once you show your motivation, I contribute to it.